In this lesson, I am going to show you how to make the raindrop fall randomly. And as it falls, it disappears and comes back into a random location here and begins to fall again over and over and over again. Now, before we do that, I have to talk about the X and the Y. You notice as I move my mouse pointer here, you see my X and Y position changes. And as I move up, you notice that, and if I keep my X position still, you see that my Y position actually increases. Whereas if I'm pointing down, my Y position is decreasing. And then it's going to get to the point where it's going to reach zero, and then it gets to the negative. And the same thing is going to happen with the x-axis. But as I'm moving left, it gets smaller. And as it gets smaller, and when it reaches zero, it gets to the negative. Same thing as I'm moving to the right. As it gets higher, it gets higher. And if you notice, 0, 0, x-axis 0 and y-axis 0 will actually be right in the middle. Now, where do we want the raindrop to start? Well, we want the raindrop to actually start somewhere up here. All right, so if you can see, y maxes out at 180. So we tell y to go up beyond 180. It'll probably be 190 somewhere up here and begin to drop. So also keep in mind, as it's dropping, its x position is going, no, its y position will be decreasing. Okay, now when do we want all of this to start? Well, it's going to start when the game starts. Now, when the game starts, what we want to happen with the raindrop? We don't want the raindrop to show up right away when it starts. So when it starts, we want the raindrop to hide. And we want this raindrop to show up when the event of the background switches to forest. Okay? When it switches to forest, you want the rain to appear in a random location on an X, right? We don't care where it shows up, but we do want it to appear in a random location in X. So we're going to go to movement, and then let's say go to go to a random position, right? Let's go to a random position. Doesn't matter. So it's going to go anywhere here, but we also have to set his X though. Set his Y. Set his Y. We care where it goes in random position, but we want him to be up here somewhere. So if this is 180, can I say 190? Let's try that out. 190. All right, let's try this out to see if he's somewhere up there. And then let me see if that works. If he shows up all the way up there, we won't be able to see him. 2 for forest, and right away, he's gone. We don't see him, right? He's somewhere up here. Now if I click on him, he's somewhere up here. He doesn't show up. So we know that it's working, okay? How are we going to get him to start falling? Oops. To get him to start falling, we will have to have him change his X position negatively until he gets somewhere. No, change his Y position negatively until he gets somewhere around here and have him disappear again, which is around negative 180. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go under control. We're going to throw in a repeat until. Now, what is he repeating? He needs to repeating dropping his Y position. So he's going to need to repeat changing his Y position. Remember, it is a Y position and not the X position. Okay, he's gonna fall. Let me change his Y position by falling. Should it be falling negative or positive? Of course, if he's falling, he has to be changing negative because his Y position, as you can see down here, it is down. So you want him to draw fall. Let's do by -5 just to test this out, right? So we want him to repeat falling -5 on the Y until when? Until it is negative 180, right? So let's go and say repeat until something equals negative 180. It's negative 180. What is that one thing that must equal negative 180 before it stops falling? And what that would be his y position, which is located down here, his y position. So let me go back and review this. We want him to go to a random position. So let's say we pretend, let's say he's here. He's going to set his y to 190, just jumps all the way up here. And right away, we want to change his y by negative 5. Keep on changing negative 5 until his y position equals negative 180. Now, what happened if you want to reach 180? You want him to go back and do this whole entire thing one more time, right? Well, there's something we haven't done here. Remember, he is hidden. When do you want him to show up? You want him to show up right after he pops up somewhere here and begins to drop. So I am going to go to looks and I'm going to make sure he shows up right after he's somewhere on top and begin falling. When he's falling and he reaches, with his y position reaches 180, you want to hide. So he hides again, okay? And then you want him to repeat this whole entire thing up to here over and over again, all right? So I'm gonna throw in a control and I'm gonna throw in a forever. There it is. Go to a random position, jump all the way to the top, show yourself, begin to fall, I mean changing your y negatively until your negative y position equals 180. Once when you get down here, hide yourself and then go through a random position again, pop up on top, show yourself, and come back down. Let's try that out and see if that works. Okay. Here we go. There it is. He's dropping. There it is right there. He's falling again. He's falling again. Over and over again. All right. Pretty simple, straightforward. Now, I'm going to stop the lesson here. If you want to do something else, you want to add some extra things in here, I might increase the size of this, or I have multiple raindrops, depending on what I want. The next thing we'll be doing is having the beetle avoid these raindrops, or have ability to create a variables where every raindrop that he's able to avoid, he gets points. And if he gets hit by one of these, he loses lives. Okay, that'll be in another lesson.